Look up alien. Ooh. Yeah, on Joe Rogan, Travis Walton tells a story of an alien abduction. Let's go. Let's go. Look at the crazy background. Holy macaroni, right? Raise your hand if you think aliens are real. 2 hands if you super think that. I think so. I think aliens are real. 100%. And I'm not going to lie, my brain feels a little bit less polluted with this on. I'm not even kidding. That's not a bit. It feels good. It feels safe. I'm protected from something. This feels good. This feels good. For the full, if you want to see how big my hat is, I'm trying to get it all on camera. There we go. It's my first tinfoil hat. Look how it came out. Look at it. Oh my god, isn't it good? Look at it. Look at it. I gave it a little. How do I get the? There we go. It looks good. It looks good. Oh my god. All right, let's watch this.
Take off, be gone in a flash. And
so when you say
from the beginning,
the Joe Rogan experience,
let's take it back to the day that this happened. You're 22, you're logging, you're in the woods. Tell me what happened.
Hamster, please stop never being you. Let's watch aliens. I did have to figure out which hair would go best. I think the middle part works best for the hat. Just so you know. I was like, should I have my ears out? But then I realized that looks so dorky. That looks awful. Look at with the ears out. That looks like a nerd. I can't be showing my ears. Okay, alien abduction.
well, it's just, you know, when you're done working hard physical labor, everybody's kind of jacked up, and there was a whole lot of chatter in the car. We'll just talk.
Type in an emote if you think aliens are real. I want to see emote spams for the believers.
Kind of way, you know, it's starting to get dark. We just loaded up our equipment. We're headed out. And I looked up ahead, and I saw this kind of glow coming through the trees. First, I thought, no big deal, you know,
I've seen something weird before. I was in the military, of course, back when I was in the military. I went outside and I saw this ball in the sky. And it was like 2 balls, like orange ones. And I thought that it was 2 planes. I thought there were two jets, like fighting with each other, playing with each other in the sky. And it was late at night and I was looking down this road and it was like way far off in the sky. And then they like moved in a really weird way. They went like this. It was so crazy. They went like this. And then they were like coming closer and the ball was getting like bigger and bigger. And I couldn't grab my phone. No, don't clip that. And I was like, oh my God, no. I think I pulled out my phone. I tried to take a picture and I couldn't see anything. But it was the craziest thing. Like when you see it, when you see something like that, you're like, there's no way. And of course no one else was there. Who's going to believe me? I had a secret clearance. So maybe that means something. I had a secret clearance.
It was deer hunting season.
True story.
Thought maybe there was some hunters camped up on the hill up there. Maybe light shining through a tent. It was still something really strange, kind of caught my eye. And one by one, the other guys in the crew started looking, but nobody said, oh my God, what's that, or anything like that. It was just kind of an idle curiosity at first. But when we burst into the clearing where we could see the source of this glow, it was just, whoa, you know, I mean, it was just mind-blowing instantly. I inexplicably got out of the truck and ran toward this thing. But I thought it was just going to take off, be gone.
You kind of believe me? You should 100% believe me. That was true. I'm a credible person. That's a true story.
on in a flash. And
So when you say in the clearing, so are you driving
to
on
get
a
a
dirt
picture.
road?
yeah, it's a dirt road. Trees are real thick. This was a part of the contract we hadn't cut in yet, so trees were a lot thicker there, except for this clearing. And we weren't the only ones that saw it. We found out later. Sheriff had on file people who were in the area that saw it, hunters and fishermen over there at Black Canyon Lake. And the movement that they described was what the crew described when it left. Of course, I didn't see that, but
What did they
Perfect.
describe?
they described this glow rising up and streaking off, I believe they said, toward the northeast. There were some people that probably don't want to be public about it, but there was one guy
Is he less credible because he has red hair? I don't know. We should think about this.
who was just deer hunting, and he worked in military intelligence, and he stuck
Yeah, because no soul. Come on. Duh. Internet meme.
by what he and his wife saw. They were both together. And another guy that was at Black Canyon Lake,
I have nothing against people with red hair. My best friend has red hair. Come on. My Hobbit character in the game today was Amaranth. I'm locked in.
I won't mention any of those guys' names unless they chose to, but found out later that there was more official investigation that
I've never seen Joe Rogan's finger so up close in the corner of the back of his head.
nobody talked about at the time. Immediately, though, this was all nonsense, and these guys murdered him. And even my oldest brother, he didn't believe me. He thought they had killed me. What we were doing with the brush that we cut was piling it up. There were piles that were in the clearing so that the Forest Service could burn these piles, when the conditions were right, where it wouldn't spread, wet conditions otherwise, but burning up this excess material.
You see how it has frameworks on the microphone? Should I do that? Should I put like hamster or something on this? I just have butterflies right now. I just have little butterfly clips that I put in my hair. Like this. I can get it. Ha! Yeah.
To reduce the fire danger in the woods. And my oldest brother was tearing those piles apart. He was certain that my body was under there. And there were some pretty testy confrontations between him and my brother. And I think even my other brother, Dwayne, he initially
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
took that approach, but he quickly became sure that they were telling the truth.
Now, what do you remember when you were going through your mind and you're trying? I mean, this is a story you've told so many times, and this is a story that's been turned into a film.
What?
It's got to be very surreal. But when you look into your memories and you try to go back to that day,
In your mind, when you're trying to go through your memories, as surreal as it was, and they made a movie, I'm hooked. I'm hooked. He's got me. What is
I
good?
don't try. It's something I try to block out, but it's unforgettable. And there's
what do you remember seeing when you ran into the clearing?
The
the whole
clearing.
clearing
There's always a clearing.
was lit up with this weird glow. It's really hard to
If he says
for any
orange,
artist or
glow,
movie to
glow,
try
I'm
to
gonna freak out.
duplicate the strange glow there was there. Made everything look really, really pretty eerie, and
A clearing. It's eerie. I'm in.
Did it have a color to it?
It was kind of a golden color.
Golden orange is close. Golden orange is close. At night, golden orange is close. That's close. I freaking told you I saw an alien. I told you. I told you. I told you. I called it.
But
That's
a
right,
kind
and
of a
overture that
softness
bass.
to it that was, it wasn't like beams of light shooting out. It was just this haze of light.
And did it seem to come from a specific part of the craft, or?
Most of the surface seemed to be glowing. There were darker areas that didn't give off light, but it was the parts that weren't glowing. It wasn't so bright that you couldn't look at it, but it had a metallic look to it.
Ooh.
So what did the craft itself look like?
It was a classic disc-shaped craft.
Just looking at the back of Joe Rogan's hand because I can. All right.
The years later, there was a report. I can never remember names, but this guy was saying that he worked at Area 51, and they had something in there. He worked with the Tester Model Corporation to create a model of what he was describing, and that's actually the closest of any of the other descriptions I've seen. But I don't think these things have just one type of craft. I think there's many, many different shapes.
What makes you think that?
Well, personal experience. I try not to emphasize these other incidents, but I've seen the glowing sphere. I've seen the giant black triangle. Other craft that were a ball of light that you couldn't penetrate the light with your eyes, but
Now, this is after this experience.
I think the reason my brother Dwayne was
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
persuaded more quickly than my brother Don was that he saw a craft in those woods. Well, it's probably 10 miles from there while deer hunting. And it was kind of tic-tac shaped, and that's something that's
Tic Tacs.
been observed by, in
I always knew Tic Tacs were up to something.
military reports recently.
Yeah. So you see this thing, this disc-shaped craft,
Yeah.
and then what happens?
It started to move and started to get louder.
Louder.
Yeah. It was, the guys in the truck heard it too. There was a low thunder, is kind of a rumble that you actually sort of felt more than heard. And then there were other high-pitched frequencies. I was talking to a group of students from technical college, and they were really interested in what the sound was like to try to, compare that with theories that they had concerning what might be their propulsion. But the increase in volume,
I'm getting a better picture.
it suddenly got louder as it started to move. And, at the same time, the guys in the truck were screaming, "Get away from there, let's go, get back in the truck, let's go." And which would have been the smart thing to do. But as soon as it moved, it startled me, and I just ducked for cover. There was a log there. I got down behind this log, and they were screaming, "Let's go, let's go, let's go." And I didn't need to be told. I was just going to, stand up and run away. But see, when I jumped for cover, I I went down and forward to reach where the log would hide me. And that brought me closer to it. So when I stood up,
Thank you, Bandit.
at that point, that was the closest I was to the object.
How close?
How close?
It was still like 8 or 10 feet away, you know.
Do you think you could smell it?
From the surface of it. But that was when the energy discharge happened. I've worked on a number of theories about what might have happened. At the time, some of the other guys on the truck were thinking,
Good night, Jay.
immediately Steve said, it got him. Like, you know, if you shot a deer, you got it, you know.
Right.
And so it might not have been
Weird.
as we assumed at first, that it was some kind of stun gun or something, but maybe just closing that gap allowed this energy to leap to ground through me. And
Like static electricity or something.
yeah, one thing that really weighs heavy in that direction is that when I found years later that they have satellites or something that record the number of lightning strikes, and that area has the highest frequency of lightning strikes of any place in the continental United States.
Give me the zip code right now.
Except for the Everglades. The Everglades has a bit more, but that's over water. So that adds to another theory. What were they doing there? You know?
So that area that has a high level of lightning strikes, do you think it makes sense that they're observing that, or is that why?
I need to make my podcast in person. It's so much better. It's so much better.
They were there. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, up until a few years ago, you know, you walk down the rim road, and if you see a tree that's been hit by lightning, you can always see it. It's a strip of bark that's just blasted out of there, and it's all bare, and it can actually still survive the lightning strike, but it turns the sap to steam instantly, and it just explodes out the side of the tree.
Must be where Thor lives, based.
Blows the bark off. But I was at a conference
Back of Joe Rogan's hand. Once again, you're welcome.
where this lady was. I said, "What's this?" And she says, "That's fulgurite." I
Huh?
said, "What's that?" And she
What?
says, "That's when lightning strikes the earth. You've got millions of volts, millions of degrees that form these crystals that aren't formed geologically." So I kind of leaned towards this theory that perhaps they were looking for fulgurite, for a very unique kind of crystal that would be formed by that kind of blast of energy.
I
I'd
could see
never
that.
heard of fulgurite before.
Can you pull up an image of that, Jamie? I'd like to see what that looks like.
This is Tom
I know,
Walton, the alien abduction guy.
Tritonite is something that happens when they call it nuclear glass. It happens when there is either a nuclear explosion or when asteroid impacts hit the Earth. That's it right there.
Well, these crystals are supposed to have very special properties for people who are into crystal stuff.
Special properties, you say? Tell me more.
But
What does that say there, Jamie? This is what happens. That's what can. Wow, that's wild.
Wow. Wow. Just wow. Honestly, wow. Like, wow. Seriously, wow. Yeah. Really, just wow. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
though?
it really is. That's pretty wild. So it might be that they were looking
That's a dang coral reef.
for that. Well,
Could
who
be,
knows?
could
Maybe
be.
it's something that they use for energy. What is that? That's really when lightning struck Santa created that thing? That's wild. That is wild. Look at that. It looks like a tree coming out of the sand.
I'm
That's
guessing
nuts.
that was wet sand.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, well, it's right next to the beach. It must be wet. That is crazy. That's really wild, man. Catch new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience for free, only on Spotify.
And technically YouTube. Technically YouTube. You and I both know this, Joe. Joseph. Okay. Dee-ba-doo-ba-doo,